Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, and welcome to today's meeting of the Boston Public Facilities Commission. I'll hand it over to TT.
Thank you, Mr. Craven. Morning, Commissioners. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast live. I will ask Colleen Daly, the PFC Secretary, to take a roll call of the meeting participants. Colleen, if you would please conduct the roll call.
Thank you, TT. Please unmute your device and confirm your presence when I call your name, beginning roll call with the Commission. Catherine Craven, Chair.
Present.
Larry Mamoli, Commissioner.
Present.
Donald Wright, Commissioner.
Present.
TT Lee, Legal Advisor.
Present.
Catherine Pendleton, Article Clerk.
Present.
And with the Boston Fire Department, Commissioner Paul Burke.
Present.
Kevin Coyne, Deputy Commissioner, Administration and Finance.
Present.
I'll read for the record the remainder of the individuals in attendance. Attendees do not need to unmute their device when their name is called. Elizabeth Feltner, paralegal for the PFC. Deputy Chief Bart Shea, Special Operations Command. Chief of Operations Rodney Marshall, Support Services. Chief of Operations Robert Calabrese, Field Services. Connie Wong, Deputy Commissioner for Labor Relations, Human Resources, and Legal Affairs. Neil Janowitz, Senior Assistant Corp Counsel. And this concludes roll call. Thank you.
Colleen. Beginning this morning, we have Paul Burke, Commissioner of the PFD, one vote request on the agenda for today. Vote number one is a request for acceptance of a lease by and between 151 to 155 Rivermore Street LLC and the Boston Fire Department for property located at 151 Rivermore Street in the West Roxbury district of the city of Boston. The proposed lease terms for 5 years from the commencement date of January 1st, 2024, with an option to renew for an additional 5 years at the tenant's sole discretion. Commissioner Burke and Kevin, if you would please present your vote request.
First off, I'd like to welcome everybody, and I'm hoping everybody votes in the affirmative for this. This facility is really needed by the Boston Fire Department. The previous facility was owned by Harvard University, and we were asked to leave, but they extended our stay there for at least a year, but we left this July. The facility houses Special Operations Command group, and this group is made up of hazardous material team members and technical rescue team members. They are now spread out throughout different firehouses, their equipment, and the members. I can't stress enough how important it is to secure this facility just for the operation of the fire department. We have outgrown headquarters. We have trucks all over the streets around this building that would help us sort some of those out and put them in this facility. We need to train these hazmat technicians. We need to train the technical rescue technicians all the time. It's a constant training process. We have no way to do that now, so this facility is for that reason, to train them there. I just like to thank everybody for being here and hope everybody sees the need for this facility and there's a positive vote comes out of this meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any questions? Do I hear a motion?
Kevin, I think we're going to... Kevin is there.
What's that? Oh, okay, sorry.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I'm here with my BFD colleagues this morning to request a vote for approval to award a contract for a negotiated lease with 151-155 Rivermore Street LLC in the City of Boston Fire Department for the Special Operations Command. The vote that we're requesting today includes a negotiated lease for an initial 5-year term with an option to pursue an additional 5-year lease. The space is necessary as the Boston Fire Department has been using space owned by Harvard University that they took back for their own development needs. The space was previously located at 85 Holton Street in Allston, Mass. and had been the BFD Special Operations Command Center home since 2009 through July of 2004. The Boston Fire Department Special Operations is responsible for the following specialties of public safety: the hazmat unit, technical search and rescue, confined space and trench rescue, collapse rescue, high-angle rescue, swift water response, the marine unit, and the dive team. Boston Fire Department conducted an RFP originally for our space in August of 2022. That RFP closed on September 16 of 2022, and there were no bidders. Upon further review of that specification, it was determined that the scope was too broad and the specification needed to be revised and simplified. A second RFP was drafted and released this past September, and which is why we're here today. As part of that RFP, the public advertisement process we conducted was this advertisement for the RFP was listed in the city's small and local business enterprise office for distribution on listserv. It was publicized in the city record, the Boston Herald. Additionally, the advertisement appeared in the Massachusetts Secretary of State's Central Register, Combis, and on boston.gov. In response to the RFP, 4 firms submitted proposals on October 10th, 2023. Those firms were 151, 155 Rivermore, 500 Harrison Ave, Center Plaza, Hero Glenway LLC. The selection committee that the Boston Fire Department assembled consisted of 5 members. Chief of the Department and Commissioner Paul Burke, Deputy Chief of Special Operations Bartholomew Shea, myself, Kevin Cohen, Deputy Commissioner of Administration and Finance, Will Pacheco, Fire Lieutenant, Advanced Technician of Special Operations and Command Staff, and Ryan McGovern, Captain of the Fire Department's Special Operations Hazmat Command Unit. As part of the evaluation process that we undertook, the proposals were submitted to the committee members, and we ranked them accordingly on the criterion that we had listed within the RFP. Part of the main criteria that we were looking for was the location and accessibility of the facility. We needed the facility to be easily accessible to major highways and thoroughfares and points within the city of Boston. And we also requested that the facility be within a 10-minute walk or less to public transportation. The second criteria that we evaluated on was based on the configuration of the office and training spaces. We needed a facility with approximately 15,000 to 20,000 square feet of usable office space and training space. And we also needed the additional outdoor space to have parking for 30 to 50 cars. Upon inspection, the property matched and meets the specifications listed in the RFP and in the RFP. The third criteria that we listed was the soundness and aesthetic appeal of the office and training space. We didn't want to have to go into a facility that needed, a lot of work, again, because we had been out of the space. So we were looking for a turnkey solution, and this property delivers that for us. So the ranking that we conducted, 151, 155 Rivermore Street was rated highly advantageous, as was Theodore Glenway, 500 Harrison, and 400 Center Plaza. As part of our review, we conducted site visits for each one of those locations. After the review was completed, 151 to 155 Rivermore Street stood out as the only viable option for us. The other 2 locations, 500 Harrison and Center Plaza, were deemed to had too much residential or commercial space inside of them. The facility that we need to pursue for the fire department, we needed to have more of an industrial component to it. The other facility that we looked at the Theodore Glenway, that facility the building itself had a lot of structural issues, and it was felt it would not meet our needs in terms of the safety of the building itself, and it didn't also have the parking that was required. On November 13th, 151, 155 Rivermore Street, which is comprised of 20,946 usable square feet of the building located along 84 parking spaces at the property of the City of Boston Fire Department Special Operations Command. It was recommended as the most advantageous site for the Special Operations Command for the following reasons: location, interior space, and the parking. If I can now direct Catherine to pull up the presentation, I can walk you through just an overview of the site. So again, the Boston Fire Department Special Operations Command is made up of the units that I mentioned earlier. They, as a fairly large unit within the Boston Fire Department, they hold a lot of training, and they also have a lot of supplies that they need to store. Annually, they conduct large-scale trainings for all of the firefighters within the Boston Fire Department, and they're also called upon a great deal of regional fire departments and local fire departments to partner with for training that they conduct. Next slide, Catherine. So this is the exterior of the building, which is at 151 Livermore Street. There was previously an auto body repair shop that's been vacant for just over approximately a year. Next slide. This slide and the one that follows it will actually show in shaded in blue what the usable space of the building is. So this is the first floor of the building. You'll see where the main entrance is, and on this floor, there's offices on the right-hand side and the front to the left. In the back, there's open space, and I can go to slide number 2. There's a second floor, which also has shaded space in blue, which represents a training area, conference room, and a little kitchen. The area that's not shaded is an open area loft, so that's just open to the first floor. Next slide, please, Catherine. And this final slide shows the actual parking that the Special Operations Command will have access to. It's 84 spaces in total. Certainly, some of the apparatus that the fire department uses is much larger than that, so, the number of spaces, we probably won't be using 84, but we will be taking up all of that area to contain the apparatus that we need to store there. Next slide. This is the interior of the building, looking from, front to back on the first floor. So, most of this area, the plan is for us to use it for all of the storage of the specialty hazmat equipment that's needed to deal with all of the individual units that the Special Operations Command is responsible for. Next slide, please. And that pretty much sums up the exterior, interior of the building and the need for that today. So we're here today to seek your approval for the acceptance and permission to move forward with the lease for this space, the 151, 155 Livermore Street. And I look forward to answering any questions that you may have. And thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, Deputy Coyne. Any questions?
No questions, 2 comments. I just want to say is I think you did a fantastic job in putting this proposal together and the documents that you submitted to us and so forth. You basically answered every question. I also want to say how lucky you are because knowing real estate a little bit, finding space in the city is tough. And you got it at, when checking CoStar, you got it at a good market rate. You got a good price. I'd be suggesting locking in for maybe another 5 more years.
That's a good point, Larry.
But with that, no, I think you did a great job, great presentation. Commissioner Wright?
Yeah, just echoing that as well. And Kevin, if I may ask, though, when you guys anticipate being fully occupying the building, I know there's got to be some relative build out, et cetera, but exciting that you have it. Let's get you in the building. And so when you guys anticipate full operation?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. So there's very little build-out required. Actually, the landlord has been very, amiable with any of the needs that we have in terms of clearing out the space. We're hoping, if we get a positive vote today, that we can move forward as soon as possible with executing a contract. And we'd like to start moving in there by January 1st. Again, the Special Operations Command for them to have a really viable space, more centrally located, other than being out at Moon Island, for the safety and protection of the residents of Boston is paramount to us at this moment.
That's wonderful. I thought your package was so comprehensive that you, as Larry said, there's no questions really that I have at all. So do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
In a second?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you very
Commissioner.
much. Appreciate all your support with this project. Your team behind the scenes is fantastic to work with.
Thank you.
Catherine, Colleen, thank you. TT.
Vote number 1 is hereby approved. This concludes BFD's agenda for today's meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn this portion of the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This portion of the meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.